So much for joining us on this news hour. So when we talk about hydrogen fuels, what exactly are they and how would they be beneficial going forward?
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to come here. So hydrogen fuel will be very important, especially in the context of the debate that is going on right now about phasing down or phasing out of the fossil fuels. As you know, fossil fuels have been uh, quite 80% responsible for the greenhouse gas emissions, which is taking place right now. And the global temperatures have risen by approximately 1.1 degrees centigrades. And we want to limit warming below safe levels, which is 1.5 degrees centigrades, or at max to 2 degrees. So for that, we have a very limited carbon budget that is allowed, that is available. And if we continue relying on the fossil fuels for a very long period of time, then the climate goals will not be possible. So in this context, I think hydrogen is a very important alternative that is arising. Apart from hydrogen, we have other alternatives as well, like solar, wind, even biomass is also having a potential. So I think other technologies other than fossil fuels should also be given their due. Uh, and it is very important to save the planet for the future
Of
generations.
course, how difficult is it though to phase out fossil fuels when at a summit like COP, we're hearing that there are thousands of delegates from the fossil fuel industry, and they may be there to lobby for their industries, which would make it difficult then for other things like hydrogen fuels and other methods, as you were talking about, to actually really start being implemented.
I agree with you. See, we have some real issues on ground. There are people who are employed in this sector. There are a lot of laborers, workers, and a lot of industries that are entrenched into it. So, but yeah, I think we have to take everybody along, and a solution has to be find out which is justifiable for everyone's perspective. But the matter of fact is that if we are not able to cut down emissions from the fossil fuels, especially if you're not going to cut down the fossil fuel uses, then probably we won't be able to save the planet from the catastrophic climate change that is staring at us in the very face.
And
So I think
Professor, sorry to cut you off there, but I'm just wondering if you can give us some context to this, because there's a report by the Global Carbon Project which says the world is headed to burn more oil, gas and coal this year than it did in 2022. What are the factors that have led to this?
yeah, this is the tragic story that we have not been able to uh, peak the emissions. We are still every year on year, we continue burning more and more fossil fuels, whereas we should have peaked as early as possible, and we should be looking forward to cutting down all our emissions to net zero at some point, like in a couple of decades down the line. So that is what is required from the scientific perspective. But actually, on ground, as you're rightly saying, that even the fossil fuel usage is increasing. So while it is acknowledged that there are some valid concerns, some like livelihood dependence of people, etc., associated with the fossil fuel usage, but I think it has to be negotiated in such a way that the dependencies are reduced as quickly as possible, and we move forward in a direction which is away from the fossil fuels. I think that is the message I would like to give as a scientist to this COP meeting.
Professor Chaturvedi in Pilani, India, thank you so much for explaining that all to us.
Thank you very much.